All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a special Saturday morning, afternoon, or evening not a presentation, but we're going to call this a conversation, a training session, a strategy session, whatever you want to have it. But we're going to be covering a couple of things this morning about UP2GIVE and where we are right now moving forward. I will say make note of this. If you guys have pen and paper, you'll be able to take some notes. I have the chat box open for now because I do want this to be open. We're not going to be going back and forth answering questions and whatnot, so if it gets too distractive, I'm going to shut it off. But go ahead and type in the chat box right now where you are listening in from. Don says he can't hear me very well. What about the rest of you? Let me know if you can hear me. If it's good, if it's not good, because I'm using calling in audio right now instead of the phone. Majority of people say they can hear me fine. All right. So with that, let me move this a little bit closer to me. Welcome everybody. We've got people logging in from all over the world. I can't, call every single one of you out, but we thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. The point of this call is, one, we want to make sure we get everybody on the same page. We want to make sure we manage everybody's expectations. I'll share a little bit about where we are right now and where we're going to be and what you can start doing right now as the next step. And also the strategy on how to start to build this and share this properly. Now, this is going to be the first of many different types of calls like this because the marketing material has not been released yet. So I'm going to share with you, what you can start doing right now. Now, before I even get started, there's two, main points I want to get out there first because this is what people are asking questions about the most. You might have been seeing in your back office that the $32 payment, or for some $18 payment, has been popping up. While that's been popping up, we've also been instituting the STI programming in the back office at the same time. And it has also caused a couple of glitches. So some people that should not have had the option of that $32 or $18 pop up, it has for you. Now, an email from the company is going to be coming out where I think it's going to start on Monday. They're going to be issuing refunds for those of you that paid when you shouldn't have. So just want to get that out now before I start hitting a gang of questions about the $32 payment, the $18 payment, how that works. Pay attention to the corporate email that's going to come out. If you should not have been paying that, you will be getting a refund. The second question is for those individuals that's still out there that's missing contributions, whether they're on level 1, level 2, or level 3, or what have you. And the back office says that you've received it, but you haven't received those contributions in your wallet. What to do next? Well, still submit a support ticket, but also reach out directly to Chris Hanks. He is our new person in charge of our customer service communications, and he is working with every single one of you one-on-one. So I want to first of all thank Chris Hanks for all the hard work and the hours that he's putting in, anywhere between 12 to 16 hours a day. You got to understand, we're dealing with thousands of people who have signed up, 20,000 people. So it's not a matter of just easy to just whip yours up. Each one he may have to take anywhere between 15 minutes or more looking at your issue. And what we've also found is the majority of the time, people who think they should have received contributions haven't qualified to receive those contributions. And that's been the case. They just don't know how to read the charts. Which leads me to another thing. I was on a private call with Peter O'Hanihan and his group yesterday. Forgive me if I said your last name wrong, Peter. But a couple of things that we also addressed and we've already put forward to corporate is we want to dumb down the message, especially what you're looking at in the back office. So you have the ability to know exactly what to do, because we do recognize most people out there have no idea about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, 0.012, 0.04, 0.19. They don't know if they're qualified for a level or not, so they get a little bit confused. So we want to make sure be, you've been called onion, Peter, but we want to make sure that you guys, this is dumbed down so that your mom and grandma and grandpa can understand. You know, I always do my crypto education in a matter of, can my mom know and understand what I'm talking about? Can she do these steps? And if she cannot, then it is too difficult. So I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is do what Jerry Lopez, his job is sharing with you guys the vision of the company. He's already done so on multiple occasions, and we have a video that's recorded in your back office so you understand the vision of this company, why it was put into place, the mission behind it, of philanthropy, of charitable, of education, the purpose of giving back. It's towards others and not you. So I want to address, getting started, the mindset and mentality of the culture that we've developed so far and what needs to be done to improve on it. You see that? I was on that call yesterday, Peter. Improve on it. I did a call right before pre-launch to manage everybody's expectations. If you've never been in a position before to launch a company and to really get your vision out, when you put it down on paper, it is theory. It has not been executed. It has not been practiced. It has not been tested yet. It is a theory. There's a reason why it's called pre-launch, because we need to test out this theory. We need to make sure that it works as planned. We need to make sure we can do adjustments where as needed. And most importantly, when we open up the playground and allow people to come in, we need to observe the behavior of people. How are people reacting to the system? How are they reacting to this, to that step, to this step, and see where there might be any different issues that may be taking place and happening. Well, we've realized something. On paper and in theory, everything looked good. But the first major issue that we ran into was people's lack of knowledge about the crypto space. So when the back office opened and the first step is input your Bitcoin wallet, the company received over 600 tickets of individuals who had no idea either what a Bitcoin wallet was, how to find a Bitcoin wallet, and for those of you who do know, it's simple as copy and paste. So that was a huge hurdle, but it also led us to know where the next major hurdle was going to be. The next step in this peer-to-peer environment where you are not sending your Bitcoin to UP2GIVE. You're sending it to everybody else's wallets directly. But if you're doing that, how is UP2GIVE going to know that that transaction took place? Well, original design, and it sounds good on paper, is for that individual to go into their Bitcoin wallet, click on activity, they see the transaction that was made, the confirmations, copy it, go into their UP2GIVE back office, and paste it. Now, if you've been in crypto, you can do this in 2 seconds flat. But if you've never done it before, it's another step that may be complicating. So if people had a hard time copying and pasting a Bitcoin address, do you think they're going to have an easier time finding where their confirmation was on their transaction, going into their Bitcoin back office or their UP2GIVE back office and pasting it? We would have had 10,000 support tickets and the system would never have moved forward. So an audible was done. If you guys know football, you know, a quarterback calls an audible on the play. To make it more streamlined and automated, they implemented what's called the transit wallet. Now, again, if you're familiar with payment processing, if you having a Bitcoin core attached to your company where you've got to pay out commissions and you're sending money in different places, a third-party transit wallet is what all these companies use. In fact, I'm a consultant for another crypto education company, and they use a third-party transit wallet. So because it's peer-to-peer as well. But when you send funds to the transit wallet, what that transit wallet does, it's able to disperse. A certain amount goes to the company, and then the rest goes to the individual. So you're able to program it and tell it what to do. This way, UP2GIVE is able to confirm every transaction without the need of you going into your back office, your mom, your son, your grandma, and you spending 30 minutes or an hour or 5 hours for some of you walking them through that step just to confirm a transaction, and that keeps things moving. Now, this was operating in safe mode for the last 2 months, which meant that when the transaction was made, it was not immediately moved over to the next step. The system was programmed to do it maybe 2 or 3 times a day, or maybe once every 3 or 4 days. That's up to the programmers based on the programming and how they were moving the system. Remember, this was testing phase. So one issue we had with the transit wallet was the fact that certain wallets, legacy wallets, wallets like Exodus, for example, that if you are going to receive 4 contributions of 0.01, and I'm going to turn off the chat box because it is distracting me. Let's shut that off for now. We'll turn it back on later. So certain wallets, if you are going to be receiving multiple transactions of the same exact amount, some of the wallets would kick it back because they might think it might be duplicate, some form of a glitch or whatever. It would kick it back. The problem with doing it, that when it did that, UP2GIVE does not know that that took place. And as far as UP2GIVE knows, the confirmations took place. So it does not know that money did not hit your Bitcoin wallet unless you told them that it didn't hit. So then they can take your ID, go into your account, and then tell the transit wallet to push it again. So that was another major step. This was not foreseen before we were into pre-launch. That is why there is a pre-launch, to work out these kinks, to perfect the system, to make it as simple as possible. Now, there's always pros and cons with everything. For those people that say, well, it's not truly peer-to-peer. Yes, it is, because that money is not going to UP2GIVE. It's just using the transit wallet like most companies use. So when the system is fully live, then we're going to see real time of that taking place, instead of it being step by step by step to make sure. Another thing that we also needed is data. Through ground 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. We need the data. Originally, this was only going to open for 2,000 people for the month of December. But because of the popularity, because of the demand, and because the programming team saw an opportunity to be able to collect more data faster, we allowed it to open up to more. In hindsight, that may not have been a good idea because of what happened with the behavior of people. Not everybody is geared up to be able to operate in a pre-launch of a company, because most people expect everything to be working 100% flawless in the beginning. That's just not going to happen at the beginning. It's just not. I remember my very first company I was a part of, called ACN. I got started in 1998, and I remember the top guys and making millions of dollars, and I said, man, I wish I got started when you guys did back in 93 and 94. And they say, oh, no, you don't. We were shipping out kits from the kitchen table in our garage in those days. You know, you don't want to go through the growing pains we had to. So sometimes pre-launch is not for everybody. And I can tell who it's not for, because of the people who complain the most, that no matter what we tell them, they don't accept or understand. And that's okay. Those are the type of people that I tell, because I pre-qualify who I sign up. I ask them, you understand we're going through pre-launch right now, so things may not work as expected. And if you can't handle that, I would suggest you wait until we're in full launch, and then you go ahead and get started when things are smooth and running perfectly. But if you can't handle that, there might be some glitches, there might need to be improvements, and that's 100% I can guarantee there's always going to be improvements on the system to make it more efficient for everybody. If you can't handle that, this is not the time for you to be here, because you're going to cause more of an issue than of a solution and a problem. We're looking for those individuals who want to help, not hurt or hold back or stop or create dissent. So one observation that we've had, the reason why I wanted to do this training as well, to get everybody on the same page, is managing expectations. One of the expectations that was inadvertent is that everybody wanted to become a founding member because they felt that if I get in first, I'm going to be able to get massive spillover and I don't have to do nothing, and I'm going to sit on everybody, these millions of people that's going to come in the future. So that created the mindset of individuals who came in with a handout mindset, that I'm just going to sign up, do nothing, and the company's going to guarantee that I'm going to get 2 contributions. Again, there was a lot of miscommunication. Not everybody plugs in. I said this from the beginning of December, that the 2 contributions that you receive is coming from the members who are at level 6 paying back into the system. This is where a little bit of common sense. If there's no level 6, there's no money to pay the ground zero members, which means we've got to go through a cycle. This wasn't live in pre-launch. It goes live in launch. And then we've got to go through our first 30 days, which now is February 15th. But not everybody plugs in. Not everybody got that message, and not all the leaders were saying the right things also, which led to massive confusion, which led to a whole bunch of people, even top leaders who could produce, join, do nothing, and wait to see if they're going to get 2 contributions before they move a muscle. In hindsight, I would have suggested for the company to not even mention the fact that anybody's going to get 2 contributions to maybe 3 or 4 months after launch, that we have multiple cycles going on and people at level 6. Because sometimes when you tell people something, you know, that's what they stick on, no matter if it has to be improved on or not. But that's not where we are. This is what we have to deal with right now. So everybody by this point should understand, if you've signed up, you did not share with 2 people. You also did not receive a spillover from your upline yet, that you're not going to receive contributions from the company until the company cycles. And we have people at level 6 that contribute towards it. That's a fact. That is what it is. If you have a problem with that, then go ahead and bow out. All right? If we need to have a major purge that takes place, so be it. When most companies launch, after this first year, 80% of the people who were there at the beginning are no longer here. It's really the second or third year, the 4th, 5th generation of people that join that really takes things off. So I want to manage your expectations. I'm not a hype guy. I'm not going to, you know, blow you up and everything and hype this and that. That's not how I operate. I tell it like it is and I keep it real. But they told me, Brandon, be nice, you know, because I operate a certain way. And the one thing that I do not stand is people that want everybody else to do the work for them. In this stage, we are looking for people who want to help drive and build the company. I've never received spillover in my life. I create spillover for my organization. Any spillover that you receive is a bonus. It is a blessing. Be thankful for it, but concentrate on creating that spillover. And we're going to go over that in when I start this the strategy side of this. I just want to right now manage everybody's expectations, make sure everybody has the right mindset on where we are as a company and what we need to do moving forward. Saying that, it led to another cog in the system where we have more than 4,000 people stuck on ground zero. Well, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, that can't happen unless people are moving through the levels. So why do we end up having 4,000 people stuck on ground zero? A lot of it is because they're sitting there waiting on 2 free contributions. Even if you've got 2 free contributions, you can't go up through the levels unless you share it with 2 people anyway. The entire point of this is not for you to come and be in a program that you're contributing 0.005, which is less than $50 right now. The point is that you're going to have a major impact in somebody's cause, and $50 is not going to do it. You go to the higher levels, now you're talking about 400, 1,000, or more that you're contributing to somebody's cause. Here's another shift in mindset, and we have the mentality of our model being, let's be different. Most companies always want to hype up how much money you can make. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from leaders that say, 64 Bitcoin a month. I want to make 64 Bitcoin a month. And let's be different. You know what is going to be more powerful to me? What if the message is you're able to say, how would you like to be able to say, I am contributing more than $50,000 a month to charitable causes every single month? Not about how much you're making. What are you doing for others? I'm contributing over $50,000 a month because I maxed out all the levels in the UP2GIVE Academy. And now I'm able to bless, because I was blessed, I'm able to bless so many other people out there with different causes every single month. Now, the smart people will figure out, wow, 12.5%, that's what he's or she is contributing. How much have they received? You can do that on your own. You know, you don't need to be flashing how much money you have coming in, but how much are you contributing back? That's the message, the causes that we have. I was able to, like myself, I have one personal cause of my cousin Robert, who had a major stroke, medical bills piling up, that I'm going to be able to contribute to his cause every single month. That's powerful. That's the message going forward. So I'm saying all this because I want to correct our mentality, our expectations going forward as a company. And if you have the same mentality right now, there's many of you on here right now, of I just want 2 contributions for free, you're not going to have long-term success, period. Is this a feature that the company is offering? Absolutely, because we don't want to leave anybody behind. It is also allowing us to revisit the way the Giving Box works itself. Again, you have the theory, but then you have how people operate it. You know how everybody learns to try to game the system. So will there be improvements to how the Giving Box operates? Probably. So know this going in. The whole point is we need to figure out a way to make sure people are not stuck on ground zero, stuck on I'm not doing nothing until I get 2 things for free, and moving forward. So everything the company is going to do over the next 30 days is going to be towards that goal, so that the levels move smoothly. So the faster we get people to level 6, the faster we're going to be able to contribute back to ground zero, and the whole cycle keeps going. But it ain't going to happen if 90% of everybody is not doing anything until they get 2 for free. So now let's move into a little bit of the strategy side. What to do next? What can you do now? Now, this is my expertise. I'm a builder. I'm very successful at doing that, going from scratch to building a team, to maintaining a team, to duplicating it, to having the right culture going forward, and creating leaders in this process, empowering you, making you independent in the system and not dependent on your upline, the company, or somebody else. The most important recruit you will ever have, and the most important hand, will be the one at the end of your own wrist. You are the superstar. It starts from you, and your organization is going to duplicate what you do. So if you're sitting here right now thinking, I'm not doing nothing until I get 2, what do you think the few people you got is going to do the same exact thing, which means you're going absolutely nowhere. You're going to spin out very fast. The company won't make it 3 months with that type of mentality. So the people that I'm looking for are those who say, Brandon, I want to help to build this. Show me what I have to do, even if it's the bare minimum. So there's 2 theories onto this. You've got those who think like a leader, and you've got those who are like, I'm just trying to do what I can because I don't know much yet. I'm just getting started. I need a little bit of help. I need my hand held, and that's okay. Now, we've got hundreds of different leaders on here, 7- and 8-figure earners. You guys have your own strategies on how you build, and that's fine. You know, I'm not here to tell you what you can't do what you want to do. I just want to give you a foundation to follow so that you can follow the basics, and whatever works for you and your team and how you operate, you spin off from there. But I would challenge all leaders If you are a leader, because here's another source of debate. Should I personally enroll 2 people or more? Or should I only after I enroll 2 and then give anybody else that I'm going to enroll, give them away? Because it doesn't hurt you really to do that. Well, understand the rules. To maintain, to be active in the company, you need to have at least 2 that you personally shared this with that are qualified, meaning that they're contributing 0.005 every time the system resets itself. If you only share this with 2, and 2 months later, one of them drops out, because it will happen, people are people, you're no longer qualified. So if you're sitting there and you've enrolled 30 people personally, but you only did 2 on your link because you gave everybody else away, and one of them drops out, you're not qualified. So if you're a leader, I would say don't even think about giving your personals away until you personally have at least 10 on your link. So you've got your 2, and you've created spillover with 8 more in your organization. So now if 1 or 2 or 3 fall off, you still have more that's left. If you're a big leader, 25 or more. 25, my personal goal is 500. 25 or more. Because your goal is not really to be a handout to your team. Your goal is to help the team, and by creating spillover, you're building a foundation of them to be able to stand on and encouraging them to do their part to share it with 2. If you are that leader and you say to yourself, I want to help my team, and they've been in multiple deals with me, and so I want to help and give back to them, and that's fine, but understand what you're creating here. You're going to have to enroll 200 people by yourself to feed the rest of your team if you're giving them all away. And then you know what happens to your organization? It dies, because every single one of them is waiting for you to give them 2 people. Then you're going to have to go and get 1,000 by yourself. That is not the right, proper way. There is a goal that I'm going to reach, that I won't be enrolling anybody in my link anymore. I'll be doing it with the team, but that's individual of your leaders and what you're going to be doing with your groups. But as a suggestion, I would not be giving anybody away until you've done your 10 first, because you've got your 2, you've built spillover, and now your team will duplicate that. They may not get 10, but they may get 3 or 4. And now they're still blessed to have spillover below them as well. So I want to make that point now. As leaders, you go back to your private teams and figure that out. There's no right or wrong way. I just want to make sure that you're set up for success. And that is what's going to set you up for success. Now let's talk about if you're not that big dog, that big leader. What can you do? Well, first and foremost, in the next couple of weeks with the marketing, you're going to see we're going to have basic steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. We already have tutorial videos. And I don't know, I know Calais made a quick, I think it was about 13-minute tutorial video, and it's going through compliance. So I'm not sure if that has been cleared yet, but I want to share an example of the tutorial videos. Plug into the groups. We've got, depending on whose team you're on, up to give core leadership, official power, up to give sharing, and just real main up to give, depending on your team. But look at that, we got instructional videos here. How to set up your wallets. So if you enroll a brand new person, spend the time to show them, let them set up their wallet, how to do your cause, how to make a contribution, how to successfully send your level 1 contribution, how to successfully send your level 2 contribution, and then we have the FAQs. 90% of the questions that's being asked are already answered on the FAQs. You are not customer support for your downline. If you act like customer support, you're creating an organization of dependency. If any time there's a problem, they're going to come running to you. instead of figuring out how to solve something on their own. We've got all the FAQs right here. Go through the FAQs. Also, if you're a leader, go through all these FAQs so you know the answers before people in your organization start asking the questions. If there are many questions that people have that's not answered in the FAQs, let us know so that we can add it to the FAQs. So just follow what we have, plug into the system. We shut down our Telegram groups. Why? Because again, the culture was not what we wanted to have. We had far more people. Instead of sharing and talking about their causes, talking about their experience, how great this is for people, it delved into a whole, I don't want to use that word, but complain fest. And it is really from a small group of people that have asking questions that have been answered for the umpteenth time over and over and over and over again. And it gives the perception that things just aren't happening. And that's not true. So we had to shut that down, control, you know, the narrative. All the answers are here. Whatever issues you have will be resolved. You just got to know where to go to do it. If you're submitting a support ticket, oh, it's been days since I got my support ticket. Shoot a message to Chris Hanks. We'll get to you. We'll get it handled. All right. I should let me keep, we'll keep going here. So plug into the system. It is your responsibility to know when the presentations are taking place, where the Facebook groups are, how to access the FAQs. I want to go back to the cause. There's another issue that we've ran into. We've got a number of people who have asked this question: do I really have to do a cause? Really? Yes, this is not a money game. This is a legitimate business we're running here. The whole point is for you to create your cause, because when the website launches and you see it, you're going to see everybody's causes. We can't launch the website and everybody's got empty causes there, or one paragraph or one sentence cause. You know, even though there is no right or wrong cause, we're also going to have a little bit of training on, I mean, let's just get the basics right. Get your cause out there right. It's going to be visible. Oh. I got everybody muted. So do your cause. Spend time to think about it. Everybody's got a cause. The simple fact in the United States of America that majority of people don't have access to $1,000 in their savings account means you got a cause, even if that cause is you. All right? Create your cause. That's what this is all about. I've been collecting causes when we do our presentations, and I share the causes on the presentations. Something else that you're going to see that's going to improve is the way we do presentations. We're going to have, starting off, at least 3 recorded presentations that everybody's going to be able to share. One is going to be a short 10 to 15 minute presentation on UP2GIVE. And that's going to be a short, quick, you can share it. The second is going to be a longer version, about 25 minutes to a 30-minute full presentation, just like when you see Andreas do it and myself do it and Dr. Alberto do it. You're also going to start seeing Kalei Taylor. We have a female voice out there doing presentations, and we're looking for more people. It's not the Andreas Protrude show, the Brandon Ivey show, the Kalei Taylor show, Alberto Alexander show, Peter show. This is for you. It's done in a way that it can be duplicated. We want more of you to be able to do it. All you have to do is follow the slides. All I do is read it. That's it. So we want to be able to create more leaders and rotate them in. But in the future, we're going to cut down on the amount of presentations that we're giving. Since it's recorded, all you have to do is play the recording. And we're going to do more focus on our live presentations. It's going to be more about the community, sharing each other's causes, sharing each other's success stories and things like that. Kalei Taylor and Kathy Keene is going to be spearheading that. So you'll be on the lookout for that type of a schedule, so that we all can come together and you're going to hear the positivity about what the community is all about, how we're growing, how we're expanding, what lives have we changed, how has people's lives been impacted because they've been receiving contributions. Then imagine you hit level 3 or level 4, and next thing you know, you've got almost a full-time income coming in towards your cause. How has that changed and impacted your life? We want to hear those stories. That's what Up to Give is all about. So we're going to be highlighting more on that than, oh, I got to show the numbers of the giving box and how that works and breaks down. It's like somebody buying a Tesla, and they're not going to drive it off the road until somebody can explain exactly how this electric vehicle works. No, that's not what Up to Give is all about. So that's one major improvement that you're going to see coming in the next week or so. Now the little guy, what can we do? What time do we have here? Because I get talking and I'll lose track of time. What can we do to start launching and have a duplicatable, easy to have system that anybody can do? Even those people who say, I can't recruit. Anybody can do it. It's literally the bare minimum. Like we call it the power of two. Now, when I had my first big break, before I was able to retire and work full-time from home, I was working a job. I was involved in a company. And at this time, the company gave us all pink slip notices that said, we're moving the corporate headquarters to a different city. You can either relocate or you're probably going to get laid off. And we'll make the decision in the next 4 months. The previous company that I was with illegally terminated me, and I lost my income. So not only did I lose my home-based business income, I was about to lose my income on my job. And I had a decision to make. Go to work. So I got involved with the business, and it's actually the business that I was introduced to Mr. Mike Boggs for the first time with. I got involved. It was a Friday. I got the phone call at 2 p.m. while I was working. Gave me a rough overview of it. It made sense to me. I didn't need to know all the facts. I just needed to know, does it work? And I made a decision, okay, I'm going to make this happen. I sent an invitation out. I scheduled a presentation that night. I'm on my job now. Presentation was set for 7 o'clock that night. I started sending invitations out at about 4 o'clock. I invited more than 200 people. Out of those 200 people, only 40 people showed up. 40 people. So that's almost a failure rate, right? 200 people invited, 40 people showed up that night. Out of those 40 people that showed up to the presentation, I didn't do the presentation. I didn't know enough to do the presentation. I let the expert do the presentation. All I did was invite it. Out of those 40 that showed up, 15 people signed up that night. And I broke the record for most people signed ups in the first day in the business. A couple of hours. 15 people joined. I had presentations every day for the next 7 days. 7 days later, those 40 people, 15 people turned into 40 on my first week. I had a team of 40. On my first 30 days, those 40 people turned into over 100. So I had 100 people on my team in my first 30 days. First 60 days, those 100 turned into over 515. 2 weeks later, we had over 1,000 people on our team. This was the summer of 2012. By the end of the summer, our organization helped that company become the second fastest growing company in the United States with over 500% growth in the network marketing industry. And it all started because I made a decision at 2 p.m. on a Friday that I didn't want my life to be the way it was, and I was about to lose my job, and I went to work. So that may not be you. You may say, I don't know 200 people to invite. I can understand that. You're on Facebook with 5,000 friends, but I can understand that. But let's start small. Let's just start with the power of 2. Now, I'm going to bring up, let me screen share here. So I'm going to bring this up right now. Let's show you how this works on the strategy side of things for the power of 2. You know the giving box. Now, again, everything is subject to be improved on. For example, the way how much we contribute has been improved on based on what our legal team has advised. So whatever they advise us to do, we do. The way it was going before, as far as everything that was going to be automated, we could not do because it's not compliant in the United States. There's some form of work needs to be done every step of the way. We just can't, you sit there and the system's doing everything for you. So at every level, you will be doing a contribution. Now, the way we dumb this down is that just follow the instructions in the back office. The back office is going to show you exactly how much you're contributing and the wallet is going to go to. Just follow those instructions. It's that simple. Now, to be on ground zero means that you've paid your $32. You've contributed 0.005. You're on ground zero. What do you need to do next? Share it with 2 people. You share it with 2 people who also contribute 0.005. You've received 0.01. That's what takes place on ground zero. So for every new person that joins, you want them to complete this process, this step. They sign up, they input their Bitcoin wallet in the back office, they write up their cause and submit it, they contribute their 0.005, they share it with 2 people, because those 2 people, they're going to get contributions of 0.01. That's it. All right? That's the most amount of work that you're going to be doing as far as in the system. Now, it's about those 2 new people doing exactly what you did. You show those 2 new people to do what you did and rinse and repeat over and over and over and over again. By default, you're going to go through the levels when you get to level 1, level 2, level 3. Now, looking at this from a legal standpoint, this is all correct. But from a aesthetic standpoint, from somebody that doesn't understand crypto, they've probably never been involved in a network marketing type company, it looks like a foreign language. So I want to first give recognition to Angel Nieves and Justice LeBron. They created this for us to be able to have a visual that may be a little bit easier on the eyes for you to understand. Our focus is going to be the first 3 levels. Not all the way through level 6. That's going to happen by default. The first 3 levels is the key. Why? Here's why. We've got people that are saying, I want to make 64 Bitcoin a month. I want to make, 88 Bitcoin a month, depending on my level. And that's all great. You do the math, 64 Bitcoin a month is more than $500,000 a month. But I love what Jerry Lopez said. You've got people running around saying that they've never made $5,000 a month. All right? We got to manage your expectations. We got to start small and get there. Here's impressive to me. How many people can we help earn anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a month? Just getting started. And I can't use that word earn here, but because we're contributing, you're getting contributions. So stick with me here. So ground zero, you paid $32 for the fee. You contributed points to a cause, and you shared it with 2 people that's also contributing 0.005. You move up to level 1 because you now contributed 0.01. Remember, each level you're contributing. What I want to show here, and the point of this, is the team. What does the team look like? How many people do you have on your team? So on level 1, you've got your first 2 people. For you to receive full qualification and contributions on level 1, you need to have a total of 6 below you, meaning the 2 that you have also get 2 each. So now they have 2 each, which means there's 4 individuals below here. So 2 plus 4, that's a total of 6. That maxes out level 1. So what are you receiving on level 1? 0.02 Bitcoin. Now, you want to max out level 2, and this also goes for those of you on level 1 that don't understand why you haven't contributed yet, because maybe, or you haven't gotten contributions. These 2 people might not have gotten all their 2. This person might have gotten 1. This person might have gotten none, or 1 each. You don't realize that. You're, well, where's my contributions? I'm on level 1. You're not qualified. You don't have 6 qualified people there that's contributing. You get to level 2. What are you doing to get to level 2? You're going to contribute another 0.01 for level 2. So now you have 4 individuals. I'm sorry. Okay, level 1. 8 individuals contributing to your cause for level 2. But they all need to have 2 each for a total of 16 here. So 8 plus 16 is 24. So for you to receive all your contributions for level 2 is 24 total members. The 8 here, and they each have 2. So those of you, which a lot of you are on level 2, or you say, I haven't received my level 1 contributions, you've got to check on your team. Have you reached these numbers? Level 3, this is 2 getting 2 getting 2 getting 2. 32 individuals contributing to your cause. Well, and now they need to have all their 2 each as well. So 64. So even though this is 3 levels, it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For a total of 96 people on level 3 to maximize level 3. And what are you receiving at level 3? 0.12. Now this is why this is important. Again, you know the statistics. The average family doesn't have an extra $1,000 in their savings accounts. If Bitcoin is worth $10,000 a coin, 0.12 is $1,200 a month. What could an extra $1,200 a month going to your cause do for you? That could be life-changing. I'm not even showing level 4, 5, and 6, but an extra $1,200 a month, even if just 24 people plus the 6 there, 30 people for level 2, 0.03 Bitcoin, more than $300 a month at Bitcoin at $10,000. What could that do? The reason why I know that's important is because we have a lot of people that is upset about $32. I have to pay $32. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. Let me show you how you can receive $300 to $1,200 a month by following this simple plan of 2, sharing with 2, who share with 2, who share with 2, 6 levels deep. That's a grand total of 126 people on your team. What happens though if one of the leaders says, I'm not just getting 2. They're like Peter Ohanian or Peter Blackwell, and they go ahead and sign up 30 or 40 who get 2 each. You're going to reach this number much faster. But we want to empower our people, not make them dependent. Somebody gets started, and you mean to tell me within 60 days we can't show that person how to share with 2 individuals? Something's wrong here. So 2, sharing with 2, sharing with 2, this is going to have it moving very quickly. Now let's say you as the leader, and you're implementing the power of just 2 with your organization, 6 levels deep. What if you made it a cause? I want to help 100 people on my team to max out level 3. We're not talking about recruiting the world, because $1,200 a month is going to impact everybody's life. No matter who you are, an extra $1,200, you know what to do with it. Just by focusing on level 3, 126 people. Well, you multiply that times, and I'll do the math in front of you, 126 times 100 people, that's 12,600 people in your organization. To max out level 6 is a little more than 8,000 people in your organization. Now what is that doing for you? I'm not telling you how much you're receiving. I'm telling you that you're going to be contributing more than $50,000 a month to charitable causes every single month. And then that goes back to feeding ground zero for those that still, for whatever reason, haven't gotten 2 contributions. And they're just sitting there waiting. Do you see this? This is simplistic. Everybody can do this. As leaders, you focus on the team. As a company, we focus on this. All those people on ground zero right now, if they followed this format, if just 50% of them did, do you know where the company would be in just 7 days? 2, sharing with 2, sharing with 2. So now that we're in launch, I act like there's nothing that happened before, and we start all over again. Whoever we had before is a bonus. Start from scratch. Share with 2 new people and teach them how to do the same thing. You help 100 people. Some of these leaders, break it down. What if I help 50? If I helped 50 people max out level 3. 50 times 126. That's 6,300 people. You know what just happened? You at least qualified for level 6 to be getting contributions at level 6. And you're only less than 2,000 members away to maximize level 6. If you just use 50, help 50 people on your team. You don't need the world. Some of you may have 2,000, 3,000 people on your team. And we want to help everybody. But you can't help those who are not willing to help themselves. And you, out of those 3,000 people, find 50 of them that say, you know what, Bethany, Brandon, Calais, Kathy, Refugio, you know what? I want to max out level 3. Show that. Let's go to work. Let me share this with 2, and then we're going to teach them how to do 2. What if it took you 6 weeks to do that? Because it took you 1 week for each person to share with their 2. 50 people out of the 3,000 you've already got. You've just added more than 6,000 people in your organization, brand new. You know, I always believe in watering green grass instead of trying to water the mud. Brand new individuals. Now you're on level 6. And what that's going to do is going to turn around and motivate those who are still waiting on a handout to move because they feel they're being left behind. I'm not a hype guy. Like I said, I tell it like it is. Now, some of you are going to tell your teams, we've got the power of 3, with a 3 getting 3, with a 5 getting 5. That's okay. I just want to show you the bare minimum of 2 getting 2 just to max out level 3. 2 getting 2, 6 levels deep, 126 people on your team. How fast can you make that happen? So here's the challenge. And I want to see how this plays out between now and February 15th. How many people in the company can we have that maxes out level 3? And then I want to do something special about that by February 15th. Special recognition or whatever for all those that max out level 3. I don't need to focus on level 4, 5, and 6 because just by doing this, those levels are going to happen by default. But let's help the little guy. Let's help the single mom. Let's help the single dad. Someone's working 2 or 3 jobs. The person that's struggling just to make their bills every single month. The individual that is afraid of getting laid off. The individual that's trying to live off an $800 a month Social Security check. To be able to have at least $1,200 a month contributions coming in with 126 people on their team because they shared it with 2 people each. All right, wow, coming up at the top of the hour. I'm going to turn on the chat box now. I'd love to hear from a few leaders. Chat box. If Dr. Alberto was there, I'd love to hear from him as well. And chat box on. But I hope this made sense. There's going to be a special presentation or webinar Zoom from Jerry on Monday. That's going to have updates about the STI. And I'll let Dr. Alberto, he's very good at giving all the updates and sharing. So, Alberto, are you there? I got you unmuted, but I don't hear anything, so we might have that issue again. So you might have to log off and then log right back in again. So Monday, I got to look at the exact time. I don't have that in front of me. But Monday, we're going to have that Zoom, you know, I'm still sharing, right? So let me go to the Facebook group. Facebook group here. I saw Andreas posted it. Oh, that's with me right now. Let's see. There you get buried. I got buried, but it's happening on Monday with Jerry Lopez. Let me see if Dr. Alberto got back. There he is. Unmute. All right, Alberto, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. Fantastic.
Yes.
First of all, I want to tell you that I really, really appreciate the message that you delivered today and that presentation, guys. Brandon stood up and he stood out as the leader that he is and chose to put this together for you guys, just to give you some clearance and some guidance. Managing expectations, as he started off this with, is key and paramount to having everyone's success. And it's about understanding that we have tremendous, tremendous potential here. Many of you are here and experiencing something like this for the first time, and we congratulate you for doing so. And the reason that this was put together today and Brandon chose to deliver this message is to help you achieve your goals and get to your destination. So I don't want to add a lot to what was already here because it's really self-explanatory at this point, but I want you to know that this will be placed on our social media pages, and it is recorded so you can revisit it again. There are many of you and your members who weren't able to see this for whatever reason today. Based upon the way Brandon explained it, you understand the value that exists here and why they need to see it. Please share it with them. Whether you send it to them by text, messenger, email, whatever you do, make sure they see it. It's important for them to have the success as well, because we don't do any of this alone, and none of us can accomplish without helping others as well. So yes, definitely it's around noon on Monday, the special announcement by our CEO, Jerry Lopez, it's going to be making, and it's going to keep you guys focused on what we're doing and give you greater belief in who we are and what we've been able to establish. So make sure you guys stay plugged into that and all the other information. So Brandon, I'm not going to take up any more of your time because you're doing an amazing job. So just keep the flow going, brother.
Good deal. Again, it's all about keeping things simple. The giving box by design is not simple. Just like driving a Tesla car, it is not simple to understand. It just works. So instead of having the focus on, what are the numbers that I need on the giving box, just keep it simple. You share it with two, you teach them how to share it with two, and rinse and duplicate. Plug into the presentations. Take advantage of the Facebook groups to get information. Be positive with your organizations and teams. Celebrate everybody's cause with your community. Show it off. If people say, how do I recruit? You're not recruiting. What you're doing is inviting. It is a privilege that we're allowing you to use our platform to share your cause with. So we're doing you a favor. You're not doing us a favor. That's the mentality that you must have when you're talking about this. Not who wants to make 64 Bitcoin a month. That's going to go nowhere. You sound like every other deal that's out there. If you want to talk numbers like that, say, who wants to be able to contribute more than $50,000 a month to charitable causes? Let's be different. That's different. We're showing individuals how we can give you an extra couple of $100 to a couple $1,000 a month to help with your cause by following a simple formula of 2 getting 2. I tell you now, I have no tolerance or patience for all the phone calls and messages I get. Where's my spillover? Where's my 2 free contributions? You know, when I work with clients, I'm worth more than $200–300 an hour. You mean to tell me you want 45 minutes of my time to explain 50 bucks? You're in the wrong place. This is not for you. because you're going to duplicate the wrong message to the wrong team. And then you're going to have a bunch of people out there running around saying, yeah, I got scammed out of $50 because they didn't understand how the program works. That is not what we want or what we're about. So we want to keep the message clear. We want to manage everybody's expectations, but we want to invite you on this massive journey. You want to have 1 million people in your organization? Let's help start getting that message out. And it starts with you sharing it with 2. Share with more, and it happens faster. So that is it. I'm at the top of the hour because I can keep on going and going and going. As soon as the announcement from Jerry on Friday, you're going to see the back office updates taking place and things happening. And when the marketing materials come back out again, I'll be doing more strategy calls on how to effectively market this, whether it be social media, whether it be privately, with the information we have on hand. But until then, all you have to do is invite to our presentations and let us do the work. The next presentation that I do will be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I need to do it a couple of more times to get the hang of it before I record the short 10-minute version and the 30-minute version. And I need to get that slide that I have that Justice and Angel made live. If it goes through compliance, it will be added onto our normal presentations that we do so that I can share that instead of just showing the giving box, and people, they don't understand all the numbers. So with that, thank you, Dr. Alberto Alexander, for hopping on and sharing at the end. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. Let's have fun. We're 3 days into launch. Let's make it happen. 126 people on your team. The next 30 days to reach and maximize level 3. Level 4, 5, and 6 will happen by default. I want to hear those stories. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.